fantastic conversations.
Great to see you again.
Charity intersections is good. There's no cause for a
Right here on.
This is not your regular sports show. The gist to Champions League drama, from Niger football madness to global sport cruise, we bring the vibes, the analysis, and pure football fire.
LeBron James with
and premium banter with your favorite crew on deck every week. Sport Cruise, where sport.
Hello, my name is Godwin Enoch, and I'm a broadcast journalist. Yes, my friend will tell you.
English. We just want to laugh and League and UEFA Conference League, and guess what? January to February to March, the April till May, a 2-0 victory for Michael Carrick. They made it 4 games without a win for Pep Guardiola. Game at home as well this season. They're looking like the real that Daniel Farker is cooking. It looks like Burnley for back-to-back seasons. Why not? I think it's good for English second division season. Also, reporters on Champions League returns tonight. One team in the Italian Serie A who squared up tonight at the San Siro. And remember, Arsenal remains the only team in the UEFA Champions League this season at Premier League as well. They squared up against a team that they lost to at this stage of the Milan, won by a goal to nothing. We'll talk about all of those on strong. Yes, and over Joko Golf and all of them that's still going strong in the when we come back. It is everything you need to hear at 6 to 7 double A would always. That's quite unusual, right? Agbatomi, it's a good on the show.
Always a pleasure, to do this up every day of the week from Mondays down here as well, and it is that time, that moment where teams now begin to know. He also mentioned as well. All the it was an action yesterday. It's progressing to the next now. It looks like they both look like they was out of it, and just like you mentioned, Okwemi, Champions League, Europa League, Conference League football. Of course, just watching all of those games. Well, as funny as it could sound or it would sound right now.
No, well,
see, or like so you're our job.
Yes, went to AFCON. Very unserious.
We talked about how
from this particular one, Manchester United are coming to the Emirates Stadium this Sunday,
and I also read that the last 2 games for Arsenal have been goalless draws, goalless draws for Arsenal
against Pedro Martinez. And the world number 4 is bidding for a 7 excellence. The 38-year-old who produced 8 holds to love first serve percentage of 77%. The 10-time champion Sam double. Hey, Novak Djokovic serve on anything. I serve very well. I'm in a good form. I'm talking about 38 opponents watching you play. I have a couple, and irrespective of how people, the tennis federation and all of that,
players,
but people look at Novak Djokovic and they think, oh, he's the bad boy of tennis. But is he the greatest of all time? Because that's the US Open, the Australian generation. No disrespect to all of the greats that have done.
Sense of others just because
I would say, where does Lewis Hamilton rank? I was Usain Bolt, for instance, or that category with them. But where did you can
it's a very, very difficult one. It is just because he's pursuing get that right, but his body has kind of failed in terms of injury. Won everything there is to be won. He's won the Olympics as well. That was recently at Paris. See, we've put in a different ever tennis player in his generation. Then I think Novak Djokovic rather should be regarded as that. 1962, of course, he also had his own one that was back in the 1960s as well. See, obviously, all of these players, they will come to the fore, they will be in the conversation. But in terms of the number of Grand Slams as well, I do not think we should now open the conversation. Made history back in the 1940s. Who was the greatest player or greatest athlete or great? I did not watch what's his name also did back in those days.
I'm not sure. 2008 he won it. 2009 he got knocked out in the quarterfinal. 2010 he got knocked out in the quarterfinal. 2011 he got knocked out in the second and the fourth round. 2019 he won. 2020 he won. 2021 he won. 2020 he's the most decorated in the French Open as well. He's won how many French Opens? 3. And you know why he didn't win that? He's won 2. He's won 3. He's won 4. Bro, let's play some music.
1xBet stands with the fans. AFCON returns with passion, pride, and unforgettable moments. Football is more than a game. It's who we are. Play on 1xBet. 1xBet. 18 plus. Play responsibly.
Forward always, side by side. Polaris pump before you ride.
Happy New Year from Polaris Bank, the digital bank of the year. Thank you for banking with us. May 2026 be a year of fulfilled dreams for you and your family.
This festive season, feel the pink with So Clean Pink Powder Detergent. 2 times perfume. Soft on clothes. Here's to freshness that...
ND Ikorodu, Lagos, UTME, and have 5 relevant O-level.
Secure your admission.
BAI is accredited by the National Board for Technical Education, NBTE. Hostel facilities available on request.
For further details, visit our office, Treasure Island Estate, opposite NMPC Fueling Station, Bayeko Road, Igbogbo, Ikorodu, Lagos, or visit our website at @I2 or 0807 446 5676.
The Broadcast Art Institute, ND, it's Nigeria's topmost learning facility.
Forward always, side by side. Polaris pump before you ride.
Happy New Year from Polaris Bank, the digital bank of the year. Thank you for banking with us. May 2026 be a year of fulfilled dreams for you and your family. Begin the new year with smart, secure banking. Download Vault today on Google Play or the iOS App Store.
1xBet stands with the fans. AFCON returns with passion. Bet or in bet. 18.
You're listening to...
Not your regular sports show. This is Sport Cruise. From Niger Football Madness to Global Sport Cruise, we bring
Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James. LeBron James with
and premium banter with your favorite crew on deck every week. Sport Cruise, where sports meets vibe.
That is a princely strike from John Duran.
Thank you and welcome back to Sports Cruise on Milan 98.3 FM. Before we went on that break, I know that shouldn't compare. So we went. What do you think? Let's do this quickly. Real quick. Novak Djokovic, the numbers are intimidating. The numbers are crazy. You know, we're going through some of these golden slam. So let me break some of these things down. In 2024, by winning the singles gold medal at the 2024 Summer Olympics, Novak Grand Slams, and all Super Slam. This refers to achieving super career Grand Slam, winning both the French Open and the Wimbledon in the same calendar year. Achieved by a tennis player when winning the 4 majors in the same year, either in singles, double, or mixed double. And that has to happen at least once in your career. Novak Djokovic achieved that by winning the French Open singles.
You know the funniest thing? The funniest thing is, you perhaps shouldn't be considered as the greatest, right? Do you agree with that?
No, everyone's got a boogie. Everyone's got that boogie season.
Exactly.
There was a time where Bolton Wanderers was a constant boogie team to Arsenal.
Obviously.
Right now, Aston Villa is a boogie team to Manchester City.
See, Okwemi, the number of times Rafael Nadal and what's his name now, Novak Djokovic on clay.
Nadal is called the king of clay for a reason.
That's the thing.
Novak the French Open just 3 times.
Just 3 times.
And out of those 3 times, he qualified for 8 finals. He lost 5.
Talking about the number of Grand Slams that what's his name now, Novak Djokovic also won. He won 24 Grand Slams, which everyone obviously knows, and is currently on tie with Margaret Court. So see, right now we have to put him and Margaret Court on the same pedestal right now. They have to be made by Margaret Court. Then that automatically makes it the greatest of all time.
Okay, so let's still play around with this one. We'll pick your calls. I just call us 0916 a 4 sets. In 2008, he won the Australian Open, defeating Joe Wilfred Tsonga in the final. 4-6, 6-4, 6-3, 7-6, 7-2, 5 sets of 2 hours 19 minutes. In the US Open, he lost 3. In 2011, even he also won the Wimbledon, defeating Rafael Nadal. On the Australian Open, defeating Rafael because it was 5-7, 6-4, 6-2, 6-7, 7-6, 7. He lost the French Open times at multiple times. I mean,
are now a thorn in your flesh, and for Rafael Nadal to be a key opponent for someone who is considered as the greatest of all time, then you yourself should also be considered as the greatest of all time.
Okay,
because imagine I'm in Real Madrid, for example. I mean, I'm just giving this also because as the greatest of all time.
For context, and Alcaraz
was very easy. Yeah.
You know, because that's the heir apparent to Rafa. It's just like somebody liking Messi, and because you need to enjoy some varieties. I'm an absolute Rafael Nadal fan, but I asked captain and defender Maguire for a deal worth an initial £20 million. An injury crisis at centre half had prompted City to sound just a few months ago, as well as the initial fee, a percentage sell-on clause was inserted into the deal for the 20. This is now at the best club in England. On signing for City, Maguire said, "I'm really happy and best club in England, and I'm part of an unbelievable squad. So long and absolutely cannot wait." Well, Manchester City officially offer this coming summer. Maguire becomes Pep Guardiola's second job, took City's transfer spending in the last 1 year to 444. Guardiola has spent 445.9 million. Director of football Igor Viana, he said it's clear that Maguire has been one of the best defenders in English football for quite some time. And Tommy, big one right there. Possession one in defensive third, is ranked 6th in the Premier League. Last one in the Premier League, duels 1 at 24th. Maguire is quiet and modest off the pitch, but his transfer of his deal for Palace and City.
Talking about Man City, Maguire, as well as Crystal Palace on the brink of moving to Liverpool. That was on the summer transfer window. As a matter of fact, on deadline transfer day, Maguire was completing a what's it called now, a medical to complete his transfer from maybe threatening is not the right word. Yeah, threatening actually, threatening Crystal Palace. And then right now it looks like Manchester City have gone right now.
He's definitely going to start because first off, he's an England international.
Obviously,
and the World Cup is here.
The likes of Brian
Kanake cannot play more than a game in a week.
Exactly.
It's a struggle because of
Kusanov in defense alongside an academic graduate who was taken off in 68 minutes. So I mean, Manchester City really needed to get in a player of Maguire's quality, and I think it's
they signed 15 signings in the last 1 year. In January 2025, they spent £176.1 million to bring in Abdulkadir Kuzanov from Lens for £33.5 million. Victor Reyes from Palmeiras for £29.6 million. They also brought in Christian McFarlane from New York City undisclosed. They brought Jumoba from Real Valladolid also undisclosed for £46.3 million. Ryan Altonori from Wolves for £36 million. Our French champions, Olympic Lyonnais, at £34 million. And they also brought in, and they also went to appear already. They've spent £84 million, £45.9 million
in just a year.
15 players.
Rich that they're just plunging into.
See, my position is very clear.
Yeah, okay.
You put
out of the 8 last Premier League titles, the fact that when they brought players, once they maybe complete their contracts, you see them leave. Take a look at.
But if you look at this current squad now, a lot of their players will leave at the end of this season because the bulk of the players they are signing right now
will leave to the
Bernardo Silva will soon
leave. Will also leave as well.
And there's a possibility that Bernardo Silva could be joining Kevin De Bruyne in Napoli.
Okay, what am I even saying? In the last 5 after Fernandinho was this guy, the defender. I'm trying much as possible to remember his name now.
The Argentine defender.
Gundogan could also be
and I'm like, see, I don't think Man City's got that fall in their tank at the against Sunderland. They played a goalless draw. They didn't have their number 1 goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. They didn't have Cucurella. They didn't have Fofana. They didn't early enough. It was unfitted. They didn't start Moses Caicedo as well. And then Manchester City still cup. And they defeated Newcastle United at St James Park. And they also trashed
in the FA Cup 5-1.
I'm trying to remember. No, 8-1. They lost to their biggest City rival, Manchester United. So if you look at those run of games, now they are trailing Arsenal by 7 points. If Arsenal had won those games against Liverpool and against Nottingham Forest, add those 4 points, that's 11.
11 points.
So that's what I keep telling people.
That's the greatness.
Man City still have the greatness.
That's the greatness.
But I'm not sure they can put up those string of 13 games without a loss.
There are 16 games there.
They still play Aston Villa 1 more leg.
Okay, we also forget that Arsenal are also not taking advantage of Manchester City stepping up.
Why?
Yeah. In the last 2 games.
Let me bust your bubble.
In the last 3 games.
Arsenal have lost only 1 game in the last 29 matches.
Here we go.
9 games
playing against the worst Liverpool side in the last 5 years.
What do you mean by worst Liverpool side?
Playing against the Nottingham Forest that struggled so far this season.
Come on.
And couldn't score a goal.
What do you mean by play against the worst Liverpool side?
That is the fact.
That
is the fact. Against the worst Liverpool side in the last 5 years.
Oh, when they beat an Aston Villa that were unbeaten in 13 games at the Emirates, you didn't have a problem.
Come on.
When they trashed Sᴘᴏʀᴜns Atletico Madrid 4-0 at the Emirates, you didn't have a problem.
That was last year. Eventually,
no, they didn't plan at this stage of the competition last season.
Yeah,
exactly.
They did.
So if a team had gone the entire season and they lost only 2 matches to Liverpool and Aston Villa, in the last 29 matches they've lost only 1, which was an Aston Villa game. So and that game was lost in the last kick of the game.
How would you struggle against Nottingham Forest?
Do you want me to remind you of some of the clubs that have really struggled this season? I'm sure you know that until day before yesterday, when Barcelona lost to Real Valladolid, Real Sociedad, they came to the Emirates in all competitions. In fact, before that game, so I think a lot of people need to understand that yes, Arsenal may not be building the numbers as much as people want, but you cannot underestimate a 7. Bring it up.
Okay, so in the last 5 games for Arsenal, right? I forgot to see them here. They struggled in the game. You remember?
They won,
but they struggled against Liverpool. They're talking about a team Liverpool.
Arsenal had shot on target in that game
against Portsmouth, so a player, right? no, I'm sorry.
That will not make a Champions League place
in the first leg of the FA Cup. No, of the Carabao Cup rather. Against
the one away at Chelsea. Away.
You mean a team that started with
Sᴘᴏʀᴜns and Ben White?
They didn't start. Stelly didn't start the game.
Kepa in goal.
Skelly didn't start the game.
Kepa in goal.
Kepa was the only player that was not Arsenal's strongest starting level that game.
No.
Yes.
Look at the midfield.
Because Zubimendi Odegaard in attack they had Trossard. They won the game. The bottom line is they
won the game.
Okay, what I'm going to is this. In their last say right now is it looks like Arsenal are running out of steam at the moment. So the moment match starts,
in Liverpool were topping Arsenal with 7 points.
Okay, this is Liverpool conversation.
No, because
the link was Arsenal have not been able to take advantage of
the last game of the season was Bournemouth versus Liverpool.
Yes.
Everybody started with 0 points.
Yes.
Including Wolves. Wait, I'm coming. Wait. Now, Liverpool won that at Anfield. That's Dominic Szoboszlai's fantastic free kick.
Okay.
Arsenal were trailing Liverpool by 7.
Is it 14 points?
I'm trying to tell you it's 14.
Okay.
Because both of them drew this weekend. Who
is
the Premier League defending champion? Who is the defending champion of the Premier League?
See, even before a pay ball was skipped, who is it get to do that? Then I'll see you over.
Don't change the conversation.
I'll change the conversation. Coming right and then being the bridegroom.
Arsenal includes Marpack. Their first home loss in 13 games at home. In fact, they've had 13 straight wins at Villa Park in all competition. What happened to Liverpool? You drew to 19th place Burnley.
Okay, so
in
the Champions League tie tonight against Inter Milan. Inter Milan are currently on an 8-game confirmed to you authoritatively that Inter Milan will be going Arsenal down tonight.
That's not a confirmation. It's a prediction.
Okay. Let's have the power. 13 games. It would have been a 13-game. Fľavius was brought down in the box against Inter Milan. But right now, I'm now telling you that all of the against Liverpool.
Can we take a look at the pattern of Liverpool?
Okay, this is not a slide.
No, because on
we are just analyzing the game.
Your game is a pool I love to play. You know me. You are saying that Arsenal have not been consistent and emphatic.
Okay.
A team you were topping by 7 points. You are now trailing.
Knock out if Arsenal not get to win anything.
You have taken
all of this will not matter if Arsenal not get to win anything. Liverpool go on to qualify for a Champions League, and Arsenal failed to win either the Champions League or the Premier League. They've had a better season.
The entire season. His mouth is gone. Igwe has collected his mouth. Igwe collect his because the expect tonight and some of the ones are soft today to Club Brugge of both sides. Talking to Kodri Kuzanov and Max Allen are injured.
So tell me why matches
Erin Haaland and Phil Foden in a 4-3-3 formation for Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Well, on the bench, Stephen Mufti, there's Kianobu, there's Ɲetanyahu, there's Martin Goles.
Manchester City have 5 academy players on their bench right now with 2 goalkeepers.
Yeah,
that shows that they're struggling with injuries this season.
Well, I don't know. I'm not sure if it's absolutely about the the struggles. I think they just look at the fact
that his news is out.
Some of them are arrested. Some of them are
Vadri is also out to undergo so
finalist Inter Milan. That's going to be a big game to look at. Olympiacos have been ruled out of this Monaco. 2-0 over the weekend. Another penalty again for New Tottenham Hotspur Stadium would host Borussia Dortmund.
Tottenham Hotspur could be sacked.
Yeah. There's a replay between Millwall, Ipswich Town versus Bristol City, Oxford United versus Queen Park Rangers, Preston North End versus Hull versus Norwich City. There's
goalkeeper Arthur Okonkwo as well.
I hope he chooses to play for Nigeria though. Fantastic goalkeeper. And there's also Red and Leicester City that will start at 9 p.m. In the FA Champions League, don't forget that Spain striker Erling Haaland also having 6 goals. And guess what? Our own superstar Victor Osimhen, fresh from his exploit at the African Cup of Nations for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, 2 goals shy of an all-time record of Nigerian legend Rashidi Yekini. Victor Osimhen has got 6 goals. And remember, he didn't play the first 2 games for Galatasaray this season. He has 6 goals as well. Anthony Gordon.
And 3 have come from penalty spots.
Here we go again. Anthony Gordon of Newcastle surprisingly has got 5 points, and Gabriel Martinelli of Arsenal has 5 points, and Harry Kane all Champions League games, and of course the 4 assists already. PSG win for tonight. He had 1 in their 4-1 victory against Kairat Almaty. A yellow card and red card in the Champions League this season versus Arsenal. Tell us your predictions for.
I will not agree for you. The highest position since 2010. The Super Eagles of Nigeria are now the 26th highest ranked nation when it comes to the latest FIFA.
This is the only major tournament this period, right? Just in terms of occupants.
What was US? What was Canada?
They even gave you peace ambassador trophy by FIFA.
The 3 host stations. And our Ghanaians are languishing in the 6th.
Antino and Donald Trump. That be giving. It doesn't matter when Lewandowski failed to.
I mean, this is also the highest rankings since May 2010.
Since 2010.
I think they were ranked as 20th back then, and right now they also rose at
Senegal is
number 6th.
Yeah. Also, buttresses my point where I said let Ghana, because I know they cannot finish in the top 8. Let Ghana, Djibouti, Ouagadougou, let them go and fight the playoffs. Let ranked teams in Africa go to the semi-finals and convert. I would hand in the
I just remember that
on your